What are the biggest challenges facing Canadians today?
I think it goes back to one of your earlier questions, is the balance with regards to what we're going to do with the environment compared to the day-to-day budget concerns. I think there's no question you need, the obvious ones would be focus on health and education. The better that we have an educated populace, the more we can handle those tougher questions and start to make those choices. So I think health and education are the highest things, but also the moral fortitude of the politicians to go through with the plans in order to make those things happen.
I just think like living cost, especially here in New Brunswick, I don't know about the rest of Canada, but the living cost is like, and then the wages are like super low, so it's just hard to make a living, I guess.
Biggest challenges?
I think it's the economics. You know, I think that you know, in a way, the pandemic is helping to say, hey, you know, if you want people to work, you got to pay them.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that's the economic stability is too many people that are just not getting paid the right amount of money for what they do.
I know with me, I'm concerned about what's happening in Ukraine, and I know it's going to be approaching the U.S. There's people already in the U.S. that are going over. I'm wondering how long is it until Canada has to get involved?
I think it's just trying to like pay for bills and stuff like that, especially like taxes is a real big issue right now. And back from like where we're from, Ontario, it's impossible to afford to live anywhere. You can't really have a home until you're at least like of your own, at least until you're in your 30s.
And then you're still in debt.
Yeah, you're still in debt at that point. Yeah, it's bad.
And even like with the government adding a bunch of like carbon taxes, and now we're paying $2
Yeah.
for $1.99 for gas, which is insane. And with wages, like they're really low, and to get like a good paying job, you have to go to school, which puts you into debt. And then once you're out of school, you're paying off your debts, unable to get a house because housing markets are just going up and up.
Yeah.
So it's just a spiral of money issues.
Going back to the fuel industry, prices go up. You know, how can single families or single moms, single dads afford to feed their kids healthy food when you pay $6 for a head of lettuce, right? A head of lettuce. You know, lettuce, 99% water, you know, and you're paying $6 for a head of it. There's no way you can have a kid that's healthy. So we need the balance. There's too much richness and there's too many poor. And unfortunately, the poor is tipping the scales, you know.
Biggest challenges would be the cost of gas and groceries, and especially people that have families.
You know, people on, whether it be just homeless people. And there's many out there, and they don't have to be poor. Some people that have some money to pay just can't get a place to stay. So, yes, the housing part of it is so important.
Probably the gas prices. People are upset with that, but everything's hiking up. Chips had hiked up, everything has hiked up. And all these companies that are doing it, they have enough money to be good, and there is no need for it at all, and that should absolutely stop.
Minimum wage is very low, and you end up spending like 3/4 of your paycheck just on rent, and you know, it's just tough. Like people my age, maybe like 40 years ago, already owned their own house while living off of minimum wage. You know what I mean? And now it's a bit more difficult. So
for my age group, which is like 19 to 25, I guess it would be COVID. A lot of my peers, including myself, have struggled with online learning and not really being able to get hands-on experience that would give us experience to help us break into the workforce. Because I feel like as the years go on, you need more and more experience just to get entry-level jobs. And I'm getting to the age where I'm not really looking for entry-level. I'm trying to build my career. But if I can't get the little things, how am I really going to move on, you know?
I think some of the biggest challenges were, given the pandemic, it was hard for a lot of people to get experience in a bunch of different industries. But I think the biggest thing is we do have digital platforms available to us. There's a lot of ways of getting your profiles out there and presenting yourself online in a way that may get some retention with some of the companies that you're looking to get involved with.
Money. I genuinely think money. I mean, it sucks coming out of a pandemic, but everyone's we're coming into a recession. People are coming back into the swing of things, but being slapped in the face with new challenges every day.
For me, it's been finding a stable career. I've had a bunch of different jobs, and I've never felt like I'm really really can expect to have it more than a couple of years before looking somewhere else. And so I've never really had savings. I think that's a big problem for a lot of people.
Our healthcare system is not remotely where it needs to be. Our education system is, in Ontario, I can't speak for the other provinces obviously, our education system is spiraling downward at a rapid pace. I'm not sure that a lot of people understand that piece of it. To me, those are the biggest factors.
Oh, I for sure agree. It's the education and healthcare system, but there's also, I mean, racism needs to be addressed. So many other things. It's hard to sort of focus on one, but I think education would be key because the kids are the future. You teach them, you give them the proper resources, and then hopefully in the future things will gradually get better. That's my hope anyway.